Welcome to Spoiler Alert, where we talk about and spoil the shows you're obsessed with. This week, comedians Sarah Schaefer and Nikki Glaser help Matt Mitovich and I dissect the American Horror Story Asylum finale.
Let's get this over with, shall we?
Girls' most uncomfortable sex scene ever. Once Upon a Time's paternity mystery. Mad Men's new season, and more. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us. We're so excited to be here.
And we're going to talk about your new show in a couple minutes, but first, some hot TV topics we want to talk about, starting with American Horror Story's finale, which I loved.
It was very good.
I thought it was a very satisfying conclusion. Bloodyface's son died at Lana's hands.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Lana's transformation in those final episodes from being heroine to bitch?
It was really shocking because she was such a great character lead, like so strong and determined and wily too, really smart. But then to see how she had like forgotten that part of her life.
I'd like to go back and start with the early years. The awful Bloody Face saga. I said I wouldn't talk about that.
And was just trying to be famous off the book and stuff. I was like, where are they going to go with this? And then for her to redeem herself in the end was very satisfying. I thought this season was amazing. I liked it better than the first one.
I did too. I thought this is a general story arc. I felt like the first season, we didn't really have people to root for.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really care about the couple in the house because they were so dumb.
Make no mistake.
Wait, by the end, you're like, get out of there.
Yeah.
Right, but this one, there's like people you really root for, people against all odds, like Lana.
And the finale was just, I found it was really emotional.
Yes.
Especially with the final showdown between Lana and her son. And then they almost gave you like this inside baseball look at how interviews are set up.
Oh, hiya, babe. Attaboy.
All that stuff was really cool. And I just love that show this season because of the different time periods, flashing forward and backwards, and not, you know, sometimes you're like, where are we now? And they just did such a good job of creating that world.
And now the rumor is that the third season will be set in the present day, probably still jumping back in time here and there. We don't know really where it's going to be set yet. Some rumors about the South. Do you have any, sort of a wish list?
I feel like an old plantation would be a good place for evil, creepy stuff to go down.
Mass speculation seems to be it's going to be about witches.
Witches.
Which is like the one thing that this season didn't touch
witches.
on. Yeah, this season kind of like knocked like a half dozen things off the list.
Aliens.
Yeah.
I want to know if Adam Levine, Nikki and I both want to know.
That's all I've seen of this.
If Adam Levine is going to come back
and do
somehow
what?
as a recurring character, as the sexiest guy in the whole show,
Right?
and do
They
some
actually
moves.
do a callback to that sequence in the beginning, in the finale.
But if Ryan Murphy flips the characters each season, he would in fact be playing the least sexy man in the world.
Things can change during the, maybe he starts unsexy and in the end. I mean, I'm just saying, just some ideas throwing them out there.
Speaking of unsexy.
Speaking of unsexy, icky, and scary, Girls this past week had Elijah and Marnie sort of hook up. Probably.
Definitely hook up.
Definitely, but they didn't really go all they hooked up and then.
There were 3 thrusts, as he called it, or...
Thank you.
It was like 3 pumps.
What are these pumps?
Pumps, thrust, whatever.
I'm curious, when that scene was playing out, what was the body language for you guys? How were you reacting? I had a pillow over my head.
Oh, did you?
I was like, I can't watch. It was so uncomfortable.
It wasn't as bad as, like, other sex scenes I've seen. I mean, the whole time I was just like, are we going to see her nipples? Like, how should she perfectly
I thought so too.
covered? Like, that
She
was...
has a clause in her contract, clearly.
It had to have been, but it was perfect. Her hair was perfectly over it. I was amazed by that. It was so quick that there wasn't time for it to be that awkward.
Well, how would you compare it to last season's awkward sex scene with the parents?
Oh, the parents.
Shower.
That was there's something lovely about that. I like that they still loved each other.
Thrusts.
Yeah, it was definitely more, and I found it very endearing because those the parents I was so annoyed with and how they wouldn't support her. And
I loved them.
I love the parents. I didn't want to see them have sex though.
I like that. I like to know that there's still that going. Like, it gives me hope.
How are we feeling about season 2 so far? I'm loving it just as much
I love
as
it
season
too.
1.
Yeah.
I have such mixed feelings about that show. I've read too much about it, like the think pieces about it. Now it's like all in my head, and I'm thinking about Lena Dunham, and I'm thinking about all the criticisms. And I mean, the characters are unlikable.
Yeah.
I think that you have to be someone who enjoys that. I get kind of frustrated by angsty young characters that are terrible to each other. And,
I like that it's more Marnie-centric.
I just don't want to be around people who don't hate everything in their life right now.
Marnie's in such a desperate place. It's interesting.
She had sex with a gay guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't get more
and I
desperate
love
than
that at
that.
the end of it, she was like, you don't have to be something you're not. And he's like, neither do you. And that was just such a poignant moment because they're both just like searching for identity. Well, I have to say, I have seen it up to the 3rd episode. I was able to see the first 3. And
Must be
She
nice.
was at the premiere.
it gets, the 3rd is when it really starts.
Give us a hint.
There's a guest star from John Glaser who steals the show, and it is amazing.
All right.
And you get to see definite nipple in the 3rd episode.
Nipple?
Is that
Whose
too much?
nipple?
You'll see.
I don't know.
Probably Lena's. I mean, every episode. There's a clause in her contract where you have to see her nipple
that's
every
the
episode.
As Lana Winters would say, there's our promo.
Sarah, you're obsessed with Once Upon a Time,
Yes, I love it.
correct? Matt has a question.
My question is there any possible other outcome that Rumpelstiltskin's son is not the father of Emma's kid, Neil Cassidy, over in New York City?
Yes, it probably is him. It has to be.
Well,
Was he Pinocchio?
He used the drop of blood on the globe to find out where his son is, and it kind of was in the general New York City area.
Yes, it was.
So I just...
Now I'm getting 2 characters mixed up. No, wait. Who was Pinocchio? Remember Pinocchio from
that
season
was
1?
August, the stranger.
Gosh, these guys, all these cute guys they put on the show look the same. They do. They do.
Well, they
They're
have
all
the
like
calculated,
sort of dust,
the calculated stubble, yeah.
Yeah. It's someone that we've already seen. It has to be someone we've already seen on the show.
Plus, you'd have
And
the
it
whole
can-
irony that Emma's one-time lover is her, one of her enemies.
So
kids.
Rumple ends up being
Henry's
Henry's
grandfather.
grandfather?
Someone's going to end up sleeping with their sister and not knowing it.
Probably, because they all have like 2 identities: the current day
yeah,
identity
they're
and
gonna
then
forget.
the like fairy tale identity. This show, I never thought I would like this show, but I'm totally hooked on it.
And Matt, you have a scoop.
Well, what I heard is that, Emma and Rumpelstiltskin, they're on their way to find Bay right now.
I need to find someone. So we're leaving today. Pack a bag.
That road trip is not necessarily going to begin and end with finding Bay in New York City, if that's where he is. That the road trip's going to have a couple other stops along the way, and we're not necessarily talking about Hackensack.
Mad Men, April 7th, coming back with its 6th season. Some promo photos just were released that all but confirmed that Megan is returning. There was some speculation that maybe they were going to get a divorce after how the season ended. She's back. Not a big fan of that character.
I like Megan. I didn't start off liking her, and then she got to me. I don't know why.
I like how she is with the kids.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're not special.
She's good for the kids.
She is.
Yeah.
Why are you being so nasty today? Because you're a phony?
She is good for the
She's
kids.
good for Dawn. I'm tired of having this fight with you. She's fine.
Not a fan.
Are you going to make yourself cry?
Anyway,
Well, I looked at the photos too.
Yeah.
I can confirm that the new season will also feature cigarettes and alcohol.
And Betty is thin again.
And
thank God.
Please, I know.
and Pete has ridiculous sideburns. The guy's just
he's
not
about to
aging
Now, how
well.
have
many
his
years are we
break.
going to
I
jump
mean-
here?
A little bit. Matt Weiner wouldn't be specific about it,
Okay.
but there is a bit of a jump, and it's going to start off with a 2-hour premiere. He also said Peter is not going to commit suicide ever during the run of the show.
He said
Oh,
that.
that's
He
guaranteed.
said that.
Oh my
'Cause he
gosh.
was-
Ruled that
think
out. You'd think
he
he'd be
might,
next.
'cause he's
like every
really-
episode, you're like, okay, this is the one he's going to commit suicide.
Well, he's always talking about
Yeah.
his gun, yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
Wow.
But it's only 2 seasons left. He did confirm, Matt Weiner, that this is the second to last season. Are you
wow.
feeling like it's kind of ready?
No.
Well, if they do some, I want like big things to happen. Also, I'd love to see it like go into the 80s. Like to see them change the fashion.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
God.
yes.
Yeah, like see.
I want to see Sally grow up.
Yes.
They can do Mad Men: The Next Generation somewhere down the road.
You know they will.
Her and the creepy kid from next
The
door.
Sally
and-
Diaries on the CW. Yeah, I can't
I
wait.
love it. I would watch that. So you guys have a big day coming up on Tuesday, the 29th, the
Yeah.
premiere of your new MTV talk show.
Yeah.
Give me the 411 on it.
It is called Nikki and Sara Live. It is a live half-hour talk show, late-night show.
Is it
comedy.
live or live to tape live?
Live.
Live.
Wow.
Yeah.
No net.
Tape delay. I guess 5-second delay, just in case.
Smart.
Yeah, just
Smart.
in case.
Just in case you say the word.
Shoot hits the fan.
Yeah.
But it is. We're gonna be covering like all the news and pop culture of that day and kind of joking about it with sketches.
Celebrities, interviews. Our first guest is Kesha,
Okay.
Yes.
which is exciting and I think perfect for MTV.
And are you going to be able to talk about your TV obsessions and stuff that doesn't just air on MTV?
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're
We're,
covering
So JWoww and Snooki doesn't have to be your favorite show.
no.
No.
Well, anything that we're a fan of that we think our audience is also a fan of, and even stuff that we want them to learn about.
Yeah, we want to kind of teach them. Hey, check this out. We're obsessed with this, but we're
Yeah.
we're huge fans of everything pop culture. So we're excited to you know, there's a lot of snark going on in late night, and we kind of just want to celebrate celebrities more than
tear them down.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you have a dream guest?
Justin Timberlake, we love.
Taylor Swift.
She'd be so surprised to get asked.
I know.
I think Emily Van Camp
She's fun.
From TV's Revenge.
from
Yes.
TV's Revenge. I think she'd be a great guest. I really love her.
Emily and I go way back. I can probably make that happen. I can make that happen.
Okay, let's do it.
There's a photo of her around here somewhere.
Really?
I'll make it happen. I'll make
Okay.
some calls.
That would
Great.
be amazing.
Guys, thanks so much for
Yeah.
coming by.
Thank you
Good
for
luck with the
having
show.
us.
We will be watching live.
Well, or DVR if you're tired.
Okay. All honesty,
11
I'll probably
o'clock
DVR
on
it.
MTV.
Yeah. Watch
Yeah.
it the next morning.
Tuesdays.
Thanks for coming by. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys.
So as the credits roll, we're going to pretend to make small talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
so let's just.
So anyway,
I mean,
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice.
And there is a picture of Emily Van
There
Camp
is
somewhere around here.
somewhere.
Somewhere.
Oh, there it is.
I see it.
Where?
There it is.
That's your Smurf collection.
Oh, no, yeah, that is.
You just wanted us to look at your collection.
Hi, I'm Allison Brie,
And I'm Joel McHale.
and subscribe to ENT TV.
It's just ENTV for all your entertainment news.
No, it's EENTV.
It's just ENTV, so whatever.
It's ENENTEVE. Unless it conflicts with anything, channel or company we work for. I'm Allison Brie.
Signing off.